Hey there. Episode 21.
Wasn't we just shooting 20 last week or
20. I
2 days
remember just
ago?
shooting 10.
Seems like it's. Yeah, remember we were shooting 10?
Yeah.
How terrible it
Yep.
was, though.
Hey, got something to ask you. And I know the left is going crazy about this. Before we get into what else we're going to get into,
Yeah.
this picture of Trump going around that he's dressed up as the Pope. Did you see this?
Yeah, somebody made it, I think. With
Yeah. And
AI
he
or
and
something?
he's saying that he didn't do it. He says I didn't do any of that. He says
I
and
don't
the
think he did.
left.
Somebody created a meme,
Yeah,
from what I
or
recall.
an AI generated thing. Well, the left is
Mm-hmm.
going crazy.
Of course they are.
Some of my friends that are on the left
Yeah.
are going crazy. They're saying it's blasphemy, it's this, it's that, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right.
it must be some AI thing or something.
Well, what about the thing we just watched with the honeymooners?
Right,
Somebody made that. He's sitting at the honeymooners at the
right. He's
table.
sitting at the
You're a
table. Right.
blabbermouth. Yeah.
Yep. And he even had that interview with Christian Walken.
Christopher Walken.
No, no, not
No?
Christopher Walken. The
Oh.
Christine, the dark-haired girl from I don't know if it's 60 Minutes or what.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And she
Yeah.
brought it up to him,
Of course she did.
and
She's the
he said,
worst.
"No, I didn't. I don't know anything about this." You know, and
Yeah.
the
So,
left is going crazy. I mean, it's like ridiculous. They're really picking on him for that.
I
So I
mean,
went on the White House website.
right.
There's nothing there. There's no picture of him there. There's no picture of him dressed up as the Pope or anything like that.
Right.
This is just circling around the whole internet and cyberspace out there, and everybody thinks that he actually did it and he wanted to do it and just to get publicity and everything.
No. Oh, my God. No. In fact, anybody now can create pretty much anything,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, I know. Like you said, the honeymooners.
Yeah.
They got Trump sitting at the table. The honeymooners.
Yeah. Trump sitting at the table just yakking. Da, da,
Yeah,
da, 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 da.
yep.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
So what else? What do you got?
Well, tomorrow. Oh, all right. So before we get into more of this stuff, we have a little clip we want to show you. The recent boat accident. So hang on.
One moment, this was what appeared to be a classic Miami pleasure cruise. A luxurious boat deck packed just off the coast of Miami Beach. But the weekend joyride in Florida's Biscayne Bay quickly turned into a dangerous situation. What appears to be a 63-foot-long Lamborghini yacht started to sink. The surreal scene captured on camera from multiple angles.
Could you imagine? Dude, no way.
The U.S. Coast Guard says 32 people were rescued. You can see some stranded boaters wearing life jackets. Nearby vessels and emergency responders swarming within minutes, helping passengers to safety.
No, we got to talk about the chicks on the boats.
Did anybody
The
see
Lamborghini boat?
the Lamborghini yacht
Yeah.
off
yeah.
the coast of Miami, actually right near the islands of Miami and everything, that started sinking? And supposedly this yacht can only hold 16 people. It's what it's rated for.
Right.
And there was about 30 people on there, mainly women in
They call them
bikinis. And all
influencers.
this. What are they called?
Influencers.
Influencers.
You know, TikTok, bikini
And this
dancing
boat
people.
started taking on water
Yeah.
and started and this boat is made by, let's see, the company that actually made it. Everybody says it's Lamborghini. It's not. It's called. Um, it is a Lamborghini boat, but it's called something Italian Sails. The
Yeah, that's what you said.
sailboat.
Italian sales. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
something
the
like
company.
that. But this particular model is, I guess, backed by Lamborghini. Lamborghini made the engine for it, and it's not really a big yacht. It's built for speed, and it's one of the fastest yachts out there. Well, anyway, this thing is in Miami, and it
Right.
starts taking on water, and these girls are on this thing, and they're
While
taking
it-
selfies
While it's sinking.
while it's
Hey.
Yeah. They even have one guy on there. He says he started laughing. He says women and children first, and he's laughing. Well, and that's because it's right there where the islands are in Miami, all those rich islands, and everybody, lives in and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
And though
They
there
had
was a
plenty
lot
of
of
help.
boats there that came over to the rescue, and then the Coast Guard came over. And I still don't really know if the thing actually sunk or they towed it. Because I saw a picture
I don't
of
think
one
it
of the
completely went
tugboats.
under.
It did go under?
I don't think it did because the bow kind of caught the bubble and
Yeah,
it went so far in.
yeah, you know,
And they said because the girls were all in bikinis that the Coast Guard made a record attempt to save them.
right.
They were there in
But
no
the
time.
last thing that I saw, it was like a police boat pulling it
Oh,
and pulling it, trying to get it to shore. So I never
sure.
really, but yet some of the reports and the fake news, they are on there talking about how it sank. And I don't think it actually sank. I think
No, I
they,
don't think so either. I saw videos
yeah,
and it was just kind of
the boat
hanging
is about
there.
$4.5 million. So
It's like
yeah,
the Andrea Doria,
like the Andrea Doria, yeah,
George Costanza.
right, George
It says in the book here, it just slowly went down the sea like an old man in a bathtub.
yeah, right. Yeah, that's right.
It
What
was
was
a
the name? Oh,
harrowing
the
experience.
Italian Sea Group.
Oh, that's
That's the
it.
name of the company. And this particular boat is called the Tyke Nomar for Lamborghini. Evidently, Lamborghini, I guess, makes the engine, and it is kind of sharp. I went on the website and I looked
Wow.
at the boat. It's
Imagine
pretty
being
neat.
able to afford a Lamborghini boat and a Lamborghini.
Yeah, well,
Remember the Countach?
Countach. Yeah, remember that?
Going back to your Pope, anybody with AI can generate Donald Trump as the Pope.
Right.
Hey, look at that. Everybody's got this on their phone now. And all I did was put a description is,
Well,
create me a picture of Donald Trump as the Pope. And it does it. So,
you could do Donald Trump in a bikini
oh, no,
on the
we don't want
beach.
to do that. That's anyway, just so you know, anybody could create pictures today. That's what's scary.
Donald
But
Trump didn't do this.
no,
In fact, if you go on the website for the White House, he's got a nice little prayer that he said there for the Pope. Very,
yeah.
very nice. What
Uh,
else? What's going on with Real ID? What?
well, before we get there, talking about this AI stuff, a law just went through that was signed by the House and the Senate. Revenge porn, it's called. So you can use AI and put somebody's head on somebody's body, or you can,
Oh boy.
and you post it out there on the internet.
Yeah.
Your girlfriend broke up with you, so now you're pissed, and you put her on these.
Yeah, you put it on
So
there.
it's now federal against the law. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Well, everybody knows out there in TV land that I like to do photography. I like to do nature photography, bird photography, animals, things like that. But everybody says to me, sometimes my wife will see a picture, not that I took, but another picture that I really like from another photographer, and the first words out of her mouth, "Are you sure it's not AI and they just made it up?"
Yeah,
I don't know, but it is scary to
and
think
it's
that.
hard
I
to
mean,
tell the difference.
you take a nice, beautiful scene of a farm with a pond in front, and all of a sudden you put a moose there. That there was never a moose there, but you put a moose
Yeah,
there or
right,
something like that.
right.
You know, I think you did that once, didn't you? Too? You sent me a picture of a beautiful lake or something, and you had your wife sitting in an inner tube like she was swimming. This is
Yeah.
years ago. You sent it to me.
Oh yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
That was before AI.
before AI. Yep.
Well, it looks like the deadline for Real ID is tomorrow.
Finally, I mean, they've been putting it off because of COVID and all that. Been
Right.
putting it off. But if anybody wants to know what it looks like, I have
I'm also going to
my
put a picture up.
picture here. And if you could see it in the corner, I got a gold star right on my license.
Yeah, I got a picture on our
Yeah.
background here too. Yeah. It's very important. And what I found out was interesting was, everybody thought that this idea came way back from
Yeah,
1995.
everybody thought it was from 9/11.
Yeah, and it was from the bombing of Oklahoma City, the two bombers. They
Yeah.
used fake IDs um, to get all this fertilizer that they built this giant bomb and blew off half the face of the building. I'll never forget that. And so that's when it started to kick in. But look how long it took. What are we talking about? 95?
Yeah.
Talking 30 years?
Yeah.
I mean, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So, everybody's got to get one if you want to fly on domestic flights. There might be a little reprieve here and there because everybody couldn't get them. See that you got to have a passport,
Right.
and a passport's really tough to get.
Right.
So, I've been trying to get a Real ID for a month. So I get there, real quick story. Get there real early in the morning, and there's already people in line. It was a special Real ID day, too. Well, about 8 or 10 in line. We waited for the doors to open after over an hour. Doors open, I get right in there. And I needed something with my social security number. I couldn't find my social security card, so I brought my work pay stub with my social security number. So I went up there and he saw this, and I had the bill, I had everything. I'm going to tell you guys what you need to get it one because I'm an expert right now. So I go there, and apparently my pay stub had my last 4 numbers only, not the full social security. So I got turned away. All right. Birth certificate. You need your driver's license. You need a driver's registration card. You need a utility bill with your name on it. So I had to get that fixed. I get a new social security card. All right. Now I got my birth certificate, my social security card, my driver's license, my CN cable bill. I'm ready to go. I go in there and the guy goes, okay, everything looks good, except in another 2 hours, by the way, to get there, my middle initial was not on my birth certificate.
Oh, I had a problem with that.
It was on my, so that's how strict they're going to be with these real IDs. And because they want to make sure you're a citizen, blah, blah, blah. So now I had to go to Jersey City, where I was born, and get a new birth certificate with a G in the middle. I've been waiting for it since. So
What's your middle name?
George.
George? George.
No, the real middle name's even funnier than George.
What is it?
Gerald.
Well, that's not bad. I
It's a
like
Jerry.
that better
Jerry,
than George.
Yeah, Gerald. Joseph Gerald. So, but this is a tough one. Make sure if you're going to go for a real ID, just be prepared, because anything that's wrong, if you're missing a middle initial and you have it on one, you don't have it on the other document, they're not going to take you. I'm telling you right now. So,
And the other thing about Real ID, this is so you can fly on an airplane domestically
yep.
in the United States. If you don't have Real ID and you have a passport that's valid, passport will work. I know
Yeah.
because I've been talking to my wife about it. I said, you should get Real ID. Oh, no, I'm just going to use the passport. Okay, just use the passport. Another thing you got to carry.
Yeah, another thing, yeah.
I mean, we go to Florida a lot, so I said, Real ID is perfect for you. Nope, I'll carry my passport. Okay.
Yeah, it worked for her.
Yeah.
But Real ID is easier to carry, for sure. Also, this one other thing about Real ID is they want to use it for voter registration.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You got to be a citizen to vote in this country.
Right.
You know, part of, I think what's coming down to is what they're finding out about these border crossings. The bottom line was they wanted to get enough people in here to vote illegally to steal the election again. I don't care what anybody says. That's my opinion. Why else would you just leave the border wide open? We're trying to bring enough people in here
just to get in here so they can vote.
Mr. Biden let me in. Yep. I'm going to vote for Biden. That's the only reason. And it didn't work, and now everything's backfiring. Yep. So, voter, this Real ID, I'm a real proponent of it.
Yeah, I think it's great.
It looks just like your driver's license, except you got that gold star.
Gold star on there, yep.
That's pretty good.
So what else?
Well, I guess Donald Trump had a meeting with the leader of Mexico, and offered some help, for U.S. troops.
Well, let me give a little background here. When the president announces and makes an executive order that somebody's a terrorist, that means the president can actually go, doesn't need any authorization or anything to go to somebody and bomb the hell out of them or kill them. He could kill them right on the street here if he labels them terrorists. And that's what he did with MS-13 and this Alagua gang or whatever it is.
That's why we're able to deport them, because they're a threat to the country, and we can use that deport law to get them out.
So what happened with her name is Claudia Sheinbaum.
Yeah, Sheinbaum, yep. Said Saturday that the U.S. President Donald Trump proposed sending American troops to help her battle cartels, and she refused. She doesn't want the help.
Well, here's the other problem, too. Mexico is such a corrupt country.
Yeah.
If you go down to Acapulco on the west side, even down from Baja, California into Mexico,
right,
half the country's run by the cartels.
Well,
And I guarantee you, she's probably getting paid off, or
I don't. I was going to think that, but you know what I think is I think she's more scared because they'll take her out.
oh, they will. Oh, they kill anybody.
Yeah, they
Oh,
don't
no
care.
doubt about it.
There are a lot of movies out there. Sirico.
Yeah.
There's two movies. It's incredible what these guys do, and it could very well be that if she gives the order to say, "Yeah, come help me," she might
Oh,
be a
she
target.
might, and not just her family too.
Yeah, I know. These guys are ruthless. They don't
They're
care.
brutal.
They
I remember
just
years ago they said if you were driving in a car and they were coming the opposite direction and they flashed their lights and you flash back,
yeah,
they will stop, turn around, and then kill you and kill anybody in the car too.
yeah, yeah. It was
It's
a
like a
game,
do or dare type of thing.
right? I think it was a. It could have been. What do they call that when when you want to join a gang? You have to do something.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what it is.
right.
You guys know what it is out there. We don't.
Initiation type of thing.
Initiation, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's scary. So people were saying,
it
don't flash
is.
your lights back, remember?
It is.
Well, they just
But
did
the
it.
country is run by cartels, pretty much.
Yeah, they are.
Now my wife and I, when we got married way back, um, we went to Cancun for our honeymoon,
Hmm.
and I know that the cartels they don't seem to be on the west side near the Yucatan Peninsula, but they are. I think from what I understand, they're very big in Acapulco and Puerto Vallarta and that whole western part of the country, and
Wow.
possibly even Mexico City and everything.
Yeah, they're ruthless gangs, and
Why wouldn't you
there's so
want?
much money involved.
I know what you're saying. She's probably scared, and she probably is, but I think she's probably getting a payoff or something like that. But
Well, that's
who knows?
possible. I mean, anything's possible. Look at
But
our Democrats got
you
payoffs.
can have the U.S.
Allegedly.
military go in there
Yeah,
and clean this out.
yeah.
Jeez,
Well, I think it'd be a pretty big war because they're pretty loaded up
they
too.
are. They are. But she would turn into a hero in her country if they got them all out. Because there's
They just busted. Oh, what did they say? All kinds of cocaine, weapons. They had 1 million fentanyl pills they caught coming over the border.
yeah.
It was a huge bust today.
They said a little bit of fentanyl this big could kill a man.
Not
Just
even that big.
not
You're
even.
talking. They're talking about on the end of a little pin. And what they do is they make it look like real drugs.
Right.
And these kids that kill themselves with this fentanyl, they order this crap online or somewhere, and they're laced with fentanyl, and it's killing them. You know, this is not to be mean or anything, but if you're not feeling well, not that doctors have the answer, but at least you know your prescription pills are real. If you got back problems, why are you buying pills from
Right.
that might be laced? That's going to kill you. I mean, this is not a designer drug. When we were kids, right? LSD, the back of the stamps, you look at, you see colors and shit, and Lucy in the sky with diamonds. This stuff kills you. You're just dead. So,
Yeah.
but I'm glad they're talking either way.
Right.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
that is good. Yeah, that is good. But just to show you,
Mm-hmm.
since 2006, over 500,000 Mexicans
Mm.
have died from the cartels,
Yeah.
killing them, you know, police officers getting killed, people trying to do the right thing getting killed.
Yep.
I mean, if you really look at it, if you look at, what was that show? Breaking
Oh,
Bad.
Breaking Bad.
And that had a lot to do with cartel because he was on the border there
Yep.
in New Mexico.
Yeah, and they
So-
caught him, made him the
Oh, yeah.
part of their whole thing.
Yep.
That was a great show. Wow. I almost ranked it as good as The Sopranos.
Oh, I did too. When that came out, I said, this is getting very close to the, but I still say Sopranos is probably the greatest show.
Yeah.
And I know that started that whole series with HBO
Yeah,
because
it did.
before that you just had movies.
Right.
Then they came out with this series
Yep.
on HBO with The Sopranos. And I do have to give credit. I know you don't like the show, but Sex and the City was
Yeah.
the same way.
Right.
They came out with that. And then they came out with Breaking Bad. I mean, it
Right.
really, now it's taken off like crazy.
I know.
Everybody's got series out.
Yeah. Yeah.
You watch Sex and the City a lot, don't you?
Me? No way,
Yes, you
Josie.
do. I think you do.
Oh, The Sopranos all the way.
Gerald.
It's where Bill and I grew up.
Gerald.
Sopranos territory. William
Aaron.
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 Really? So your initials are WA.
What?
That's pretty good.
Yep. What else? What's going on?
Well, the Alcatraz.
Oh yeah.
Remember that rock?
Oh yeah.
That's in California
Yep.
somewhere on an
Yep.
island.
Right off of San Francisco.
Yeah. Uh, it was big in the 1920s and 30s. You know who stayed there?
Oh, I know. Didn't Gotti stay there or somebody or
Al
Al
Capone.
Capone? All right.
Al Capone was in the Alcatraz. And Trump wants to make it like if some of these really bad criminals are not going to go back to their country, he wants to use it for
Yeah, for
you know,
them.
for them
Yep.
and give our regular prisons more room, so to speak, but a place where they're not going to escape from. At least you think they're not going to, but it needs a lot of work, right? You and I were talking about that.
Yep.
It's going to need an overhaul, and how
Oh
much money
yeah.
he's going to
Oh,
dump into
the
that.
place is right now. It's just a tourist
It's
trap.
tourist attraction,
Yeah.
right?
I don't even know. They might call it a national monument or a monument or something, but yeah, it's going to need a lot of work. And he is getting heat from the left like you would not believe. They think it's horrible that he wants to do this. I don't think it's horrible. Why? What? I think it's since these judges are trying to stop him to do everything.
Everything.
No matter what he does, he goes to the bathroom. They want to stop him.
Yep.
Why not open this up? This is the perfect remedy right here.
Yeah. It's
Put him away. Lock him there. Lock him in there.
just
And
rotting.
also take him down to Guantanamo.
Yeah.
That would be the perfect thing.
They reopened Guantanamo.
No matter what he does,
I know.
they hate it. They hate it. So
Hey, you know,
stupid.
speaking of hating stuff, I mean, we're going to stay on this for a minute, but nobody's mentioned eggs gone down. At least the major media networks,
I know.
right?
Yep.
Coming
Eggs have
down.
gone down. Yep.
A lot. Things are changing. We're going to talk about
I
that
did
next,
notice
but-
today. I was driving in Jersey today. I was in the Bridgewater area, and I look at gas prices.
Yeah.
And for regular unleaded, regular gasoline, I'm seeing there in Jersey 280,
Ooh.
279, 285, 282,
Yeah.
something like that.
I saw a
So-
couple here, 319, which
Yeah.
was 339.
Yeah.
So,
you take
know,
regular in yours, in your car?
no, 89.
That's what I
minimum.
put. BMW requests 92, or 91 octane, but I always put 89. Works great.
So Alcatraz, if you want to learn a little bit about Alcatraz, Clint Eastwood was in a movie, which you probably all know, or some of you do. Maybe not our younger guests. Escape from Alcatraz with Clint Eastwood, a great movie. The only 3 guys that ever escaped, and they never found them, so it's a good chance they drowned anyway.
Right.
But there was a guy named Frank Morris. He headed up the whole thing.
Hmm.
Clarence Anglin and John Anglin, which I think they were brothers, both in the prison at the time.
Hmm.
And what they did was they snuck out a nail clipper, made like a little handle, and they chipped away at the cement wall because it was wet and gooey anyway. And they got the vent off because there was a vent that led down to an unprotected hallway inside the prison. And they figured out a way to climb up these pipes to get to the roof. But to get through that hole, they had to chip it big enough. It took weeks they were doing this.
Yeah.
And they would put the stones and dirt that they chip in the cuffs of their pants, and they let it out when they were in the center
Yeah.
basketball area.
Basketball area.
And they kept dumping all the stuff and dumping it, and eventually they worked away. And then they made dummy heads, and I saw real pictures of the ones they made. It was pretty cool. They used their own hair from the barbershop, and they made these dummies so the night before, all the guards thought they were in their cell sleeping.
Wow.
That's why they got such a jump. They got like a 9-hour start or 19-hour start. So,
Did you ever see the movie Shawshank Redemption?
yeah, I'll get there in a second
Oh,
because
okay.
that's a great one too.
Yep.
But and then they use raincoats to make life preservers and stuff like that. And they slowly, and they would seal them on the radiators with the hot radiator and they would seal the plastic. And it was amazing what they did to get it to work. But those 3 guys got off the island, but nobody knows if they ever made it or they didn't make it, whatever.
Well, I heard that it's a big place for sharks. Sharks are
Oh, yeah.
around in that area.
Yeah. But Shawshank Redemption is another great prison movie, breakout.
Well, he did the same thing. He
Yeah,
started
chipped away at
taking
the
a little
wall. Yeah.
and going through the cement wall, but he always covered it with a picture of Raquel Welch
Yeah.
over it. And
Well-
remember when then after, and this is after years of him digging through that,
Right.
he disappeared. And the warden came in with the cops and everything and
saw
said, "Where the
that.
hell did he go?
Yeah.
Was he like a fart in the wind, just gone? He just
Yeah.
vanished?
Yeah.
I don't get it." And he picked up these stones. He
Stones
says,
that
"I
he-
don't get it." And he threw it at the picture of Raquel Welch and it went through.
Right through.
And he put his finger in there and they all looked.
It's a big hole.
Big hole.
And the guy escaped and turned the warden in
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the books, and he switched
Oh,
the books last
he
minute.
switched
and- oh my God.
Yep.
That was really good. Wish I could think of the actor so I can give him credit. Oh, Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins, that's it. And he's married to
I don't care. I'm not married to her. Morgan Freeman was also in that movie.
Yes.
Very, very, very good movie. And I liked when Morgan got out at the end and he went to that spot. And,
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you
the
the end of the
money.
movie,
Yep.
but I do have a clip of the near the end of Alcatraz. Watch this. This is the warden finding out that they were
Yep.
gone. Check this out.
They left at lights out. They had a 9.5-hour head start. I wonder if they made it.
They drowned.
Yes, sir.
So 2 good movies that we told our fans about.
All right.
Big fans. I just want to talk a little bit about, what's been going on with the Dow. Again, today there was a little bit of frightening stuff again about the tariffs. So the Dow was down a little bit today again. But we're not that bad. January, I guess we're only down like 3.4%. Now that's a lot of money, right? When you look at 3% of this whole thing, it's billions or millions of dollars, whatever it might be. But remember that April, it took a dive to 37 or less, and now it bounced back up. So as of yesterday, today, we're at 41.3. And we took a little hit today too, again. But overall, it's not crashing. We're not going into a recession as of right now. Right. The job growth, they added 228,000 more jobs. So that exceeded the expectations. They were talking 180,000 possibly. So job growth was good. Wage growth was a little bit lower than last year with all this stuff going on. Who knows why. Unemployment rate edged up just a hair, like 0.1 or something. So that's not too bad. But the job growth outweighed the unemployment. So that was good.
Yep.
And, there's a lot of warehousing jobs now. Bill knows, and I know in our area, there are more warehouses here to keep everybody in work for a long, long
Healthcare,
time.
transportation, warehousing
Yep.
continue to be strong by the creators.
Yeah. So there's a lot of work out there to be done.
Yep.
But it's people got to realize you can't panic. One of the things they said when April started to crash the way it did, a lot of the big wigs were saying, the guys that know this market stuff, we don't know it that well. All this inside stuff that goes on, we don't have any knowledge of that. But they were saying, don't sell.
Right.
Just relax.
Just relax.
And the people that sold took a loss.
Yep.
I mean, you never sell low. You sell high. And the people that held on were like me. Like I had my 401k and it dropped a lot. I lost a lot of money, but it came right back. And now it's getting stronger, and crypto's getting stronger. So
if we start getting these tariffs straightened away, it's going to go up even more.
Yeah.
Did you hear Trump today with the Canadian Prime Minister? The Canada is not for sale.
Oh yeah, I know.
And Trump turns around and says he kind of looked at him,
never
a little
for sale.
smart. He said, "Well, never say never."
Yeah, never say never. So they're going to meet tomorrow, but also tomorrow, the head of China's economic guy and our economic guy, and I'm sorry I don't have the names, are going to meet in Switzerland to talk about this tariff mess.
Oh,
so I just heard that on Brett Baer on the way here. So
I heard the Houthis told the United States that they're not going
to
bomb ships or
I guess they're backing down after we hit them pretty hard.
Right after that,
they did it again.
They attacked Israel.
Oh.
And Trump agreed. He says, "I'm going to take them at their word that they're not going to attack ships and terrorize freighters and all that in the Red Sea and all that that part of the ocean,
Right.
but they turned around and they bombed Israel. They sent rockets over to Israel again. So
Well, we
I
got
don't know
another.
what Trump's going to do about that.
Well, we got another thing churning out there. India and Pakistan.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, they've been fighting for years. Yeah,
So
I know. I know it is a hot spot, but
India just shut down two Pakistani airplanes. I
oh
believe it was
boy,
that way.
it's going to get.
And so,
it's going to be.
India is doing very specific surgical strikes back to them. I don't know exactly what this was about, but what's scary is they're both nuclear nations,
Mm.
Pakistan and India. So,
Yep.
we don't need more wars. We're trying to get rid of this Russian-Ukraine war as quickly as possible. It's got to keep moving. We
Yep.
got to keep doing this stuff.
Yep.
Trump had his open cabinet thing, open cabinet meeting with the
He has got to be
with
the
the
most
press. Yep, press right in there.
transparent president.
Yep.
Every time he has one of these big meetings, he's got the press in there. He's got this. Everybody knows everything
And they
about
go
it.
one by one by one by one. They talk to all the cabinet members about what the hell
Right.
you did last week.
Right. Yeah.
And they go around the
That's
the
right.
horn.
That's right.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's sort of like with sales, where I worked at the dealership every week. Went over your ups, the
Yeah.
people that you waited on.
Yeah.
What'd you do? What's going on with these people? And it wasn't a beat up session. It was just, what do you do? Okay. Well, tell them, well, they're not interested in the car. Okay, let's move on. Who's next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every company does it.
Yeah.
But he's very transparent. I've never seen that. I don't care what
No, never
administration
saw
was in
Biden. I
there.
never saw Obama do it.
Mhm. Christy Nome was in front of the mic today,
Mm.
interrupting and talking over the questions because I guess they were drilling her about the policy of these deportations, and
Yep.
she's just kept talking that nothing's going to change. You can try to stop us, but we're going to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I found really funny? Fetterman is now talking normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's trying to bring us together, right? And what did the left do? They want a psychological evaluation of him because he's not talking right. He's not thinking straight. Something's wrong with him because he's throwing a little bit of support
Right for Trump.
for Trump
Yeah.
because he's tired of fighting. Everybody's fighting.
I know. Everybody is fighting. Yeah.
Look, Bill Maher, all your Dems out there. He's the biggest Dem out there, and he said we got to stop fighting him. He said, let's talk. Let's work this out. I don't know. I see a lot of good things coming down the road, and hopefully quickly.
Yep.
Now, supposedly, what's this thing you mentioned about this giant announcement he's going to make on Monday?
That's what he said. I heard it today when he was
Said it's going to be
with
global
the
change.
Canadian Prime Minister. He says we're gonna be a big announcement happening this week.
Wow.
So I hope it's something really, really good.
Yeah, me too. Getting these tariffs settled, and
Right.
but China has finally come to the table to talk about this stuff.
Yep.
So I think that's great. And if you take it as human beings, why can't they just sit there and go, look, you know what? You ripped off the U.S. forever. Our tariffs will be 15% on yours. Give
Right.
us 10%.
Right. Or something
So we
like
can
that.
make up
Right.
some kind of deficit.
Right.
That's all. So I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We'll see. China can't hold up because
Oh no. They're in
deep trouble.
They are in deep trouble.
It hurts
There's
their
no doubt about
economy
it.
by
Yep.
not selling their stuff here,
Yep.
and that's going to happen. So you got Fetterman up there?
Yeah, I was just reading about how they don't like him now.
Yeah, they don't like him now. I know. It's just
He kind of lashed out at a reporter because they said something about his mental health.
right.
I didn't read the whole thing, but that's what it's all about.
Right. Well, that's what I was just saying.
A reporter from New York Magazine questioned his mental health as a hit piece from a very left publication after he was confronted about it by a reporter on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So he lashed out at him. Same with Stephen A. Smith. He's killing the Democrats, and he's a Democrat.
Yeah.
And he says, you got to stop with this revenge and
Yeah.
all this stuff. He
Yeah.
said, just stop.
Well, we said it last week too. Trump's got to stop talking about Biden.
I don't understand. Why can't, okay, he's president. He's only going to be president for 4 years.
Right.
Why can't all the Democrats say, okay, well, he's 4 years, so let's work with him. Let's try to get things done in the country.
Right.
Instead of, oh, let's prosecute him, let's stop him, get all the judges to stop whatever he's doing, even if it's good for the country.
They don't
Isn't it good
care.
for the country to
Yep.
get these idiots out of here, these MS-13 gang members? And I mean,
That's the thing. And I mentioned at dinner tonight, what Democrat went down to Venezuela to release our hostages, our
right,
people?
yeah,
Nobody went down.
right,
We had to wait for Trump to get in. They sent
right.
those guys down.
Yep.
But they sent 4 Democrats down
To get the guy out
to
from
get the guy
Maryland.
out from the Maryland beat. And we heard more from the wife,
From the wife, yeah, we heard a lot more.
right? Oh, he beat me
He
up.
would wake up in the morning. She'd wake up. He'd slap her around
Yeah.
for just because he's slapping her around.
And I
It was
think
just
her kids aren't his, right?
I don't know. Who
I
knows?
thought I heard that they weren't even his kids. So I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
that's starting to die down because now there's more evidence that this guy's a really
Yep.
dickhead.
That's right.
And they're finding out. So the Dems are quieting down, just like they quieted down about eggs. You don't hear nothing out of their mouth anymore.
Yeah.
Eggs are down. Can't say anything positive. I mentioned it last week. 92% it comes out of the mouth of MS, LSD, and CNN and whatever. Is 92% of it is negative, no matter what. Somebody said Trump could say, "Ladies and gentlemen of this country, oxygen is good for you, so breathe it in." The Dems would hold their breath till they pass out.
Right. Yeah.
But it's common sense. I mean, this is what his whole administration is. It's common sense thinking,
Yeah.
and everybody's pushing back. So, hey, colleges are losing their tax exempt. Colleges are losing some of the money from the government. Well, you want to play these games? You want to insist on having men and girl sports?
I don't get that either.
It's a common sense article again, and it just doesn't change. I'm telling you, that makes no sense at all. And the thing is that there's proof, right? Like the swimmer thing, Riley Gaines was number 1 forever, and all of a sudden this guy comes over and takes over. The volleyball thing, knocking a girl out, giving her a brain injury. Just the boxer in the Olympics. Now,
Right.
thank God the Olympics came around.
Right.
And make sure if you're a biological man, science, you're not going to be fighting against women, period. And more girls are standing up to this. They're taking a knee. They're not competing. And I don't blame them. Good for them.
Yep. Don't worry. The Bill and Joe show are on top of it.
What was the thing recently? A news reporter, we just watched it. The news reporter had said, American citizens are getting deported.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No, they're
Christy
not.
Noem said not one American citizen, a citizen of the U.S. has not been deported,
Right.
even if he's a murderer right now. Right? They're just taking out the people that are in here illegally. Where do you get this stuff? I just don't know. It is funny.
Yep.
I mean, it gets comical after a while. I mean, it really does. And it just keeps keeps everybody fighting, against. What bothers me, though, is like Fox is the only one. It's kind of standing alone on the island. You
Right.
got everybody else is saying,
Well, you
all
get
this shit.
and the News Nation. I don't know if anybody ever watches News Nation. It's pretty good. It's right down the middle.
Well, that's what I like.
And Newsmax.
You know-
Well, Newsmax is way over to the.
You want to
far
say,
right.
oh, the Dow's down again. You could say, but the good news is the eggs are down also. Something. No, they don't do that. It's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, that's what we talk about every week, but it doesn't get old because it keeps happening.
Yep.
There was one of our fans sent me an idea this morning.
Oh,
Let me see. I think I covered it already, though. Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, we did. Because she gave me the real idea today.
Real idea.
The real idea.
Right.
And she made a comment that it is ridiculous that we can't use it for voting. That
Right.
the U.S. citizen
Well, there was.
prove
I
your U.S.
heard
citizen.
another guy say, "Why do we need this? We have driver's licenses. Why can't we just use our driver's license?"
Because
Right. I know.
the real
because
ID, make sure you got a birth certificate, make
Right.
sure it has all this stuff that makes
Right.
sure that you're who you are.
No. What I'm saying, he was trying to say, why can't we just fly with our license? Why do we
Oh.
need a star put on it? Why don't we just?
Well, because
I know
a license
because-
is easy to fix.
Right.
Right.
I guess
You
that's
get your new
yeah.
license online. Nobody knows
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
So now you got to bring all this documentation to make sure, and you connect yourself to the house you live in and all this stuff, and that's when you get the star.
Right.
And I think that's a good idea. But Carly, thank you. Every week she gives me a little something. I really appreciate that, kiddo. Thank you.
Oh, Carly. That's
Yeah, the little girl at the Hanover Diner. She's Every week she throws me a little
Throws
bone.
all-
'Cause I
right.
ask her because she's a young little kid, and she says, I ask her because I go, what's trending in your world, in your young world?
Oh,
And she always throws me something
How old
once a
is she?
week.
rough.
22, 23
geez.
maybe. I think she's still going to college.
Wow.
But a great kid, and every week she throws me on with something because I say, "What's going on? What's trending in your world?" Because we're old farts,
Yeah.
so I want to know what's trending for the young people. And we got a nice balance of, of our audience now. But
Sure.
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, I think that's a wrap.
Yep.
Number 21.
Number 21.
Next week will be 22. The week after will be 23. Maybe we'll break 100 episodes someday. Maybe before we die.
And everybody, please like and just subscribe.
Like and
It's
subscribe.
you don't know how important. It only takes one little click, like, and then subscribe. Two little clicks.
Yeah, and the one thing that my wife always says, well, I don't want to subscribe to nothing. It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
If you have a Google account, which most people do,
Right.
you're just subscribing so that you can see the latest and greatest videos come out from us.
Right.
And, like and subscribe. We need a lot of subscribers. We're getting tons of views, especially on shorts. And there's a little link right there. You just click it and you subscribe. So, let's push this, keep pushing. I think we added 15 more since last week, which is pretty good because we haven't
good.
been adding any. So,
Yep.
but again, thank you out there. That's a wrap. I'm Joe.
I'm Bill, and that's Gerald.
Whatever. Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Thank you. See you next
Bye.
week.